as the current reigning Dunk 2 returns again, returns for the fourth time that afternoon champion. I insisted on talking a little hoops today, but apparently there's some big football game taking place and the people care about filling this football contest. I was out here to fill the people's brains with the hoops knowledge, hand on the hardwood, give them the inside scoop so you can take down a Dunk 2 of your own. But the people are insisting. I mean, we got him. Nez wants to talk about the big game. He wants to talk about the big one.
Oh my god. Yeah. Put it on me. It's fine. No, it's kind of an odd time of year, right now it's pretty much like just hoops and this lull within just the Super Bowl, right? Like we just have 2 weeks until the Super Bowl and everybody is just like craving some football content. Like we're craving some
Yeah.
best ball stuff. We're craving just something. So it is kind of like a little bit of a slow burn as we make our way to the big game. But
Yeah.
the more I've been looking at these contests that are out there, and they're all the same format, and just thinking about it, it's like, why not just like track your teams and just like
Mhm.
ape in
Yeah.
and just like let go and let God, because
Yeah.
I mean they seem so maybe not like bankable, but like, man, I really feel like if you do this right, you can really come out of here with a profit.
Yeah, I agree with you in that sentiment. I would say that like where the overall prize seems less obtainable, I think there's a really nice path to profitability, and I think that's largely because of the two and like the double ups and the triple ups. You have to mix in with your tournament exposure and play them slightly different. So I think
Mhm.
maybe like getting ahead of the field right now in a couple spots, auto drafting or not necessarily auto drafting but doing like 3 4 a time of those double ups and triple ups, getting make sure that volume is stuck and intact there, and that's kind of like your bottom line profit margin. Like treat it like your cash games, like okay, we're building those ones out and then boom, get wild and crazy in the tournament ones for that overall prize, right? And just
Mhm.
juxtapose those two strategies. I think there's a very very good path to having a profitable weekend, but I do think the top prize seems less obtainable in our minds just because of what it is. So I definitely agree with that. Yo, Chad took down a hoops last night.
Almost.
Almost second place. Congrats there. Second place. Nothing to joke about. Brett Boy took down the puck last night. I know he was using your model.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew he had inside access to the preliminary beta version of the Nez puck model.
I did one lineup in there, and I'm gonna be doing a lineup a day now, just because I want to see who's winning, and I also want
Yeah.
to see if I can't figure out this damn puck stuff. But so far, no dice, no dice last night for me. But I wasn't using the model. That's why.
That's true. That's true. Well, I will say that when we did the $25 one on stream on Tuesday there, that team would have won if we had any other center on planet Earth other than Numi's correlated Seth Jarvis.
Come
So
on.
so if we defied the model, if we had just ran with the model and took the model's next highest projected center, we would have won that contest, right?
Oh
DJ
my
Sabers
god.
would have been eating his heart out.
I did the DJ Sabers tactic last night, and I took a bunch of Sabers, or two of them, and
Yeah.
Tage let me down. So
Oh yeah, Tate had a tough one last night. I
yeah,
mean, he was viable 101 last night for Puck and just didn't do it. But let's do some big game talk.
sure.
We did a couple football contests on, I guess it was Monday or Tuesday when that contest first dropped. We jumped in there. But I think there's a couple things to talk through. We could talk through, we got some practice reports now. We got some betting odds stuff, and we got just some macro, Nez nuggets of like what we think the entire game is going to look like.
Hmm.
And let's start there. I would say, where was I looking for? I'm just looking for like a clean little backdrop here where I was looking for there we go. Everywhere you look right now, 50.5 total, 2.5 spread, 2-ish spread, fluctuates a little bit. But almost everything's Eagles leaning side. Gun to my head, just like alternate spread, who's the favorite in this matchup? If this is week 13, this is a week 13 game. We'll pretend it's neutral site as well.
Right.
The Eagles are 6.5 point favorites. What do you think?
No.
Too hot? Too spicy?
Yeah, too spicy. I think you're looking at like what we saw max, like 2.5 to 3 points. I would love to know the biggest dog Mahomes has been in his career. I don't think he would ever be greater than like a 3-point dog. Like, okay.
That's fair.
Even with this stuff. But I do agree with like what you're saying though. It's like if this isn't like the Super Bowl, then there's probably more a greater spread. Like I do agree with that sentiment for sure, which is like fun to think through.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just if we take Mahomes, like let's just pretend Mahomes is any other name. I know we can't necessarily do that, but like he's potentially the greatest quarterback to ever
I'll
live,
humor you. Okay.
Humor me for a moment. If we take every skill position group and we line them up, I don't see where the Chiefs win. Like I see like their secondary not winning. You know, the trenches are clearly Eagles, in my opinion. Like they have the best offensive line group. They have the best pressure rate from a front. They're setting sack records. They had Hayden put out an article that's on like he did 102 stats or whatever, and just citing how demonstratively ahead of the field they are. Just in terms of pressure rate and individual pass rushers. Chris Jones is kind of like the only one on the Chiefs side that I would be like, hey, what about him? I don't know. Tight end's the only spot.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's Kelce. And Kelce is a pretty big deal, but I mean,
but then if you switch that narrative to just from tight end to just like pass catchers, it's like I still favor the Eagles.
But, like,
right?
By far.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of like all of our hopes and prayers associated with this game hinge on an injured Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And doesn't that just feel like so bad? Like, I don't know.
It does in theory, and I think that's why we saw the spread go from like Chiefs favored, like early spread was like Chiefs favored to a very quick in a matter of like 20 minutes, like Eagles like -2.5, just because like on paper. And that was kind of what I was saying with and obviously the Niners game didn't play out like I was nobody was expecting to, but I just thought, with the matchups like that, it's like, how do the Chiefs actually beat the Eagles, like you're saying here? And and it's just like, wow, yeah, good luck trying to bet against like Patrick Mahomes, I guess is the answer there. We need some good reports, because if it turns out that like Juju isn't 100%, Tony can't go, Hardman can't go, and we're looking at Kelce, MVS, and Sky Moore and Justin Watson, then I think that this probably gets to like a 2.5 to 3 for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it being the Super Bowl and it being Mahomes, I don't think the spread will ever get greater than 3. But I do think there is a path to the Eagles being like 3-point favorites. That being said, for fantasy purposes and stuff like that, maybe that sets up quite favorably for Mahomes to be the best play on the slate, right? It's like we don't really care who he's throwing it to. Maybe Mahomes is just our 1-0-1 because we're envisioning a trailing script and he's getting the ball out of his hand quickly and he's throwing 45 times, right? Like maybe there's some wiggle room in there. So talking about the game and talking about, the fantasy aspect are two completely separate conversations. You touched on the injury stuff there. We had our first initial injury report come out. Is that big enough?
Maybe
Okay.
one more
One
Zoom, since we don't really
one
need the
more Zoom
Thursday
squeeze.
stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Um. Yep. Sweet. Good work, John Boy. Yeah. So basically, what like you touched on with the wide receiver grouping, all questionable, all DNPs. For the Chiefs' sake, I think Juju is probably the most important of this group and the most likely to play.
Mhm.
So I do think that is a good thing. And I have noticed in these drafts right now, there is some FUD around Juju. Get it with the Q tag beside his name, getting pushed down, and some fourth round Juju is a pretty nice thing to be eating up right now. Because if this trends positively over the next couple weeks and the next week and a bit, then the other two trend negatively, I think we're going to see some Juju being like every single time drafted 10th, 9th off the board, something like that, 10th through 12th off the board. So kind of buying the dip in these isolated windows throughout the 2 weeks of drafting seems very intelligent to me. Would you think similarly?
Yeah, I do wonder what a full practice Juju does for his draft stock in these rooms, because
Mm-hmm.
these are very much like set in stone as far as what these like picks are. I mean, it's Hurts, Mahomes, Kelsey, AJ Brown, and then a mix of like Devontae Smith and Miles Sanders. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there it kind of gets a little iffy. From the 101, I'm seeing a lot of like Pacheco there, and McKinnon
Mm-hmm.
there, and then the smattering of Mahomes's wide receivers. Goddard usually goes before the 101, before the 204. So I
Yeah.
haven't been able to stack Hurts and Goddard yet. Um, yeah. So can Juju like crack that? I think he ends up being like the 2-3 turn,
Yeah.
um, at best. Um, it's I don't know if with the full practice Juju that I take MDS over him though.
That's what I mean, right? Like the right now, what we've seen, like the big flippening in ADP since this contest opened, has been the thrust of MVS, where like MVS is now the first wide receiver off the board and the first Chief that's not Kelsey off the board. And then we've seen Pacheco jump McKinnon as well. And that's a very interesting conversation there. We saw him run, 11 routes last game. We saw him get the 5 catches. We saw him play 65% of snaps. We saw the McKinnon fall back. But like this team has changed so much week to week throughout the season
Yeah.
that we're just giving these things this recency bias so much credit right now. And I don't know how sharp that is, but
Yeah.
it's very interesting. Where do you come out there thinking between these three?
Yeah. So one thing I'm trying to think of is like, obviously McKinnon ran really hot as far as like scoring touchdowns, but did our teams playing them different, because he really was like the number 2 option in the pass game. So did
Mm,
teams actually start to defend him differently, play him differently, or is it just a matter of like variance? And I tend to lean to the former. I think I think it's a little bit more of how he was schemed, and them like I think Pacheco after the like I give Pacheco a lot of shit on this stream throughout the season. I didn't really think that I thought he was more like he looks better than he actually is, but he's a bit of a bulldozer out there, man. And I
mhm.
think he does more after the catch than McKinnon does, and they need guys that can do things after the catch with the ball in their hands. So I think the Pacheco over McKinnon for fantasy is here to stay
Uh-huh.
for the Super Bowl. But McKinnon still feels like a fine pick if he just like gets the ball in the end zone. I don't know that he's doing a whole lot after the catch necessarily.
Do you see that? Okay, let's just throw this one out here. Pacheco scores once. He goes 15, 85, and 1 with 4 catches for 35 yards.
Oh
Is
man.
Isaiah is Isaiah Pacheco a top 3 round pick next year in best ball?
Right now, he's going in like the 70s. He goes like right before Cam Akers.
Okay.
And and we're likely going to get some like big board drafts soon.
Mhm.
It's a matter of like, do the Chiefs dare take a running back with their first few picks? And I think it would be a really, really big mistake if they did that.
Mhm.
Pacheco seems fine enough. Like that just goes to show, like with this Chiefs offense, like you just don't have to be garbage. And like, and I hate saying that as far as like a human being, but man, how did if CEH couldn't have success in here, and then like
Right.
Pacheco comes in, it's like, all right, let's just like understand what this offense actually needs next year,
Mhm.
and they need wide receiver help in a big way, big
Yeah.
way. So
Well,
I think I think he
the
goes up even
irony
higher.
yeah, I kind of feel the same way. The irony in that, though, too, is okay. Well, there's two things.
Okay.
Pacheco thrust up to like a seventh or eighth rounder just on like the hype value of maybe he would have a role this preseason. Right now, imagine if people see it in the Super Bowl and then they see it, how much higher can that go? And then the other one was Gretsch threw out a tweet. I think it was Gretsch. On the weekend there when everybody was watching the AFC Championship game, how different would this Chiefs team look if they had just drafted T. Higgins instead of CEH,
Oh my God, you're gonna
right? Because
induce.
those two were a pick apart, right?
Yeah.
Or a couple picks apart. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because CEH was like their first round pick, and then T.
Mhm.
Higgins went like, I think maybe the next two picks after he was like a
After,
second round
yeah.
pick. Yeah, holy crap, you're gonna really upset some people with, with those hypotheticals. Uh,
Oh
as
man.
far as his let's his he's Pacheco, that is plus 4,600 to be the Super Bowl MVP. What if he does what you say, and what
Yeah.
you hypothesize? I don't know. Maybe a little sprinkle on that can't hurt nobody. I don't know.
Yeah. The odd stuff is fun. I don't think it's a great betting game yet. Just because a lot of stuff hasn't opened up yet. I think some clarity at the pass catching stuff might make it a better betting game, but we can sift through some of the props and that
Sure.
sort of thing. Actually, I got the sports book open here because I do want to what did I do?
You probably got reset.
I did
These book
reset.
websites are just such a pain in the ass. Like if you sit looking at
Yeah.
some odds too long, they're like, for your
Um
safety, like let's take you back to the homepage. Like you just don't want me comparing books, you motherfucker.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly what
Right.
it is.
For my safety, right?
Yeah.
Um Yeah. I wanted to look at some of these anytime touchdowns and stuff like that and compare it to where the players are going in
Wow.
ADP. But what was the thought process there? I had a smart thing to say there with we were talking about the Pacheco thing before I flipped to here. There was a reason I flipped to here. I lost it, man.
Well,
I'm
Miles
losing
Sanders
it out
being
here.
minus 120 is kind of wild.
Yeah, man. So that's what I was kind of thinking through here is like just in terms of like anytime touchdown score, Miles Sanders being like that up there. And we've cited how like the Miles Sanders usage changes so much when like there's a competitive game. And I got the Eagles schedule out here as well because when is the last time they played a real football game, with Jalen Hurts? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they
what?
had the bye week. They played okay, so they get they blow the doors off here. We're talking like 20 attempts, 15 completions in both of the playoff games after the bye, right? So Jalen Hurts, we haven't seen Jalen Hurts do Jalen Hurts things in like a long time. There's that. Then all of a sudden there is this where they played against the Giants JV squad,
Yeah,
right? Then they had this whack ass loss to the Saints that was just like so unfathomable that,
it was Minshew too, wasn't it?
yeah, that was the Minshew game,
Yeah, Bears
right?
was the last time that Hurts played, I believe.
Yeah. And then no, he Hurts played in this one, no? Now we're
No,
flooding.
Cowboys was Minshew.
Cowboys was Minshew?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. So Minshew started too. Okay. Okay. So these two L's are on Minshew's shoulders, right? Like those two spots there, even though he played well in the Cowboys game there. But like if we're just running like the gauntlet of these teams, like they haven't played anyone remotely close to Mahomes. You know, like they have one Aaron Rodgers game here. I don't know. That's
what I'm
that's
saying, man. They had like the easiest path to the Super Bowl, all things considered, like
yeah,
in a long time. I mean,
right.
props to them for winning the games you're supposed to win, minus the Commanders' loss, but really easy path to the Super Bowl. And is the Chiefs' defense going to give them like a run for their money? Potentially. I mean, they're
Mhm.
not as bad as Mahomes' defenses have been in the past. So
Mhm.
I don't know. And Hurts being a minus 115 anytime, that means that's not like a passing either. That's that's a rushing. So that's crossing the goal line with the ball in his hands. I think that warrants Hurts being the 101
The
here.
101. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna jump him for Mahomes ever if I get the 101. I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about that. Just thinking through that. I mean, the only merit to it is just flipping the build in terms of like why you would thrust anybody else over Mahomes and Hurts right now at the front of the draft board, right? It's a very weird because there's such premium like outlier. There's a lot of players in this player pool that can do something, but there's like such premium upper echelon talent. It makes these drafts really, really hard to like deviate and diversify other than the back end. And the only thing I was experimenting with was we could also flip the front end of the draft board and go like Kelsey over the two quarterbacks. But then when I ported the DK scoring over here, which is imperfect because there are the bonuses in it. The right hand column is Mahomes, the left hand column is Kelsey. Kelsey only outscored Mahomes 3 times this entire season, and that's with the bonuses, right? I used DK because it was full PPR scoring and just like easy to visualize and that sort of thing. So I just can't get away from the first two picks being like Hurts or Mahomes there.
Yeah, I can't really offer any like good faith galaxy brain
Right.
thoughts there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't. And even if I did, I don't know that it would be Kelsey. It might be like an AJ Brown
Mm.
type of play where it's like Hurts isn't doing it with his legs because AJ Brown is setting the world on fire, like we've seen him do a couple times, and and then like that mixes out like almost all the other Eagles
Yeah.
in that bet. But that is it's risky, but it is only $5 if you're doing the 50K to first one. So I mean,
Exactly, right? Well, we're gonna have to get weird and get different somewhere right now. I mean, the reason I brought up the anytime touchdown and I brought up the Miles Sanders and we brought up some of those the this was the smart thing I was going with the games and stuff like this is like we haven't seen them play a competitive football game with Jalen Hurts at quarterback where they were like, hey, this is everything, chips are down, this is what we need. We're gonna lean on Miles Sanders here. Like we haven't seen that. Miles Sanders has basically not been in the ball game of the second half of a lot of these games in recent memory, right?
mhm. Yeah,
Or
it's
he's been,
interesting.
yeah, or he's been playing. So I do this to say that like the betting market and their perception of Miles Sanders is so much greater than our current drafting perception of him, and we're kind of like, ooh, Gainwell, this shiny new toy in a trailing game script. Maybe look what he did last week. Look what he did the week before that. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of like we're gonna have to gal brain and think outside some other things. And I was just thinking in terms of like obviously touchdowns aren't the be all end all in fantasy scoring, but in one isolated slate, they're pretty fucking important. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of like getting this sense that like if I'm building through Chiefs, like I really want to build through uh Miles Sanders on the other side.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that makes a lot of sense because, like you said, what we haven't seen a close game from beginning to end much, and it's normally like games out of reach. Boston Scott, at least what we've seen lately, is like games out of reach. Boston Scott, Gainwell are getting their run, and it's not a
Hmm.
whole lot of Miles Sanders. But what happens when, like, yeah, the games are close and they need significant runs, and these plays are really important? Does Sanders stay on the field? Does he end up with 18 carries for like 100
Hmm.
yards? And on the other side too, like the Eagles defense doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, but one area where they are weak and they've been weak is on the ground. So just going back to Pacheco in there, it just like man,
You're feeling some
man.
Pacheco this week, eh?
I'm paying retribution because I really wasn't high on him at all. And it's like, well, if you're not going to be high on him, this might as well be the time. This might just get on him here because man, he does run hard. But that was my whole thing is like, I think people think he looks better than he actually is.
He looks like he runs so hard because he's stomping his feet 6 inches below the turf every single time. He has the heaviest feet in the room. Like, you remember, like, I'm sure you did this stuff when you were doing the HKIN stuff and doing like some of that training related stuff where you work so much on like the elasticity and like quick feet stuff where you're springing and you're like, hey, don't hear your toes when you're doing like for the hockey, for like the ladder drills and stuff like that we used to always do. It was like you didn't want to hear people's feet. I can hear Isaiah Pacheco's feet when I'm fucking watching him on CBS. Like, I can hear his feet going boom, 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 boom. Like, he looks so heavy.
I know. It's like Henry is like twice his size, and he looks so much lighter on his feet. Derrick Henry, like when he runs, compared to just as a comparison. It's just stylistically, it's just different. And I think the casual fan just sees the way Pacheco runs and just like is like enamored with it. Like, yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, so what we're looking at here, like the DVOA stuff, just to further your point there, where like Eagles run defense kind of looks like, that's where you can meet them. That's exactly to your point there. 19th in DVOA, 24th in yards allowed per carry. Like, you can establish it, right? Whereas like, but it's interesting because the Chiefs like to win through the air. Eagles are the best at it through the air. Eagles love to establish it, that sort of thing. Chiefs run defense,
it's actually funny. It's the same
run defense. Yeah, they're both
DVOA.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna beat the big game to death and talk through a bunch of stuff. But like, little preliminary chat there. Let's hop in, 2 or 3 of these drafts here. See if we can flip the board. See if we can get a little weird. See if the people can eat some of this EV that we're gonna give away here to.
For the sake of content, come on in.
For the sake of the content, yeah.
And don't worry, we'll go to hoops. Just hold your damn horses.
Yo, Carlos Numi out with the Cats again. Seen a little trouble there at the vet again, unfortunately. So T's and P's going up for Numi's Cats here.
Yeah, hoping it's just something minor, but yeah, he had an appointment and it was in the middle of the stream, so he couldn't there was no way around it for him. But yeah, he's in our T's and our P's.
Yeah, absolutely. Chat's pretty dialed here, citing that like they've basically played nobody at quarterback, like we were kind of saying. Like, they faced Dak twice, which, I mean, say what you will about Dak. Cousins fell flat on his face against them in the early parts of the season. Rodgers is washed. I mean, whatever. Fields is a completely different beast than these other quarterbacks because, like, the way in which he plays stylistically versus the way in which Mahomes plays, I don't really kind of attribute that. And Kyler, I mean, the horizontal raid.
I mean, they faced Danny Dimes when he was hot, and they just completely just slammed him.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to get different here.
I know.
Just where it's like Kelsey staring you in the face.
Yeah.
Hit that. One thing I will say that I wanted to hit on here. Ooh, we see a Pacheco jump to the front side of the board here. See, like, this is where we can start getting good, right? Like, this is where we can start getting different. Do you like Devontae or Miles Sanders here if we're going to build through?
I think because it's like our first one, we should just do Devontae.
Okay.
But
I think in a vacuum, I prefer Sanders right now. But like, I think it's more in line with ADP to get Kelsey plus Sanders, and it's less in line to get the Devontae fall at the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
In,
Yeah,
like,
no,
just
I'm with you. That's like my exact sentiment. Based on everything we talked about, it's like, wow, I think Sanders is actually a pretty good play.
Mhm.
But Devontae probably has the higher ceiling. But I think as far as median goes, I would probably take Miles Sanders.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Um, I think it's Jerick McKinnon here, like end of a tier for me. Mentally, you
Even
could
with like
twist
a
my arm into Juju. Um,
Yeah, even with the full practice Juju, I think I lean McKinnon here.
mhm. The
And if
one
you,
thing is
yeah,
maybe he doesn't pair Pacheco with McKinnon, and we could take Juju first and get McKinnon on the go back.
yeah.
Let's
Let's
gal
do a
brain
little,
it.
do a little game theory here.
Yeah, because we know this guy, badged up player playing a little game theory.
Yep,
Boom, double kicker.
yeah.
McKinnon comes back. That's how it's fucking done, boys. That is how it's fucking done. Watching the man at his craft right there. Woo! There it is.
I love when a good plan comes together. And let's get
You
this. Let's
love
get those
it.
numbers up, Jarek. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah.
Our
You're
boy.
welcome.
He's in here. That's awesome.
um.
What up, Dooley?
That's funny. One thing that I did want to say, and it's actually really fitting that he took the Isaiah Pacheco's backup.
Yeah,
It's really fitting that he took the kickers there because it's a really nice segue. I want to juxtapose two things because the majority of people that we play with kickers anymore is with FanDuel or DraftKings scoring, where there's basically no punishment. If you hit the field goal, like you can't go below 0. If you hit the extra point, it's 1, 3, 4, 5 incrementally for that. The big difference with the underdog scoring, and we saw this with the what the hell's the guy's name? The Dallas kicker, I can't forget.
Maher.
Maher's extra point extravaganza game that we saw right here. This -2. Just talking range of outcomes and how kickers score points. The fact that these field goals are only 4 for over 50, they're all 3 for under 50, and there's a negative scoring potential with the extra point stuff. Heavily devalues kickers, in my opinion, on the underdog site. And I have not been mixing them in as readily as everybody else has. I think their ADPs are flat out wrong for the scoring system. And you're introducing a lot of unnecessary, unwarranted variance by building exposure around them.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it in the right game script where you pair, kickers on the bring back and this sort of stuff, like that's when you can talk me into it when it's game script adjacent. But when you're just taking kickers for projectable volume at the back end of drafts, I don't think the floor is nearly as safe as people are giving it credit. But they think it's safe because they're two strong kickers. They're indoors, and they both just see, when you click on their box score, you see 7 points from each of them, like the last couple weeks. And you're like, oh, that's better than a 7th round pick or a 4th round pick. That's whatever.
Is there negative points for a field goal missed, or is it only for extra point?
I think it's only extra point.
Oh, okay. There we go. Field goal misses -1. It's at the very bottom.
-1 field goal miss. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think they make more sense in the double and triple ups, where it's just like safe points, just get you over that cash mark. I think they're much more in play. I'm with you. I'd rather search for that, like the safer upside in the bigger contests.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel similarly there because like a kicker on DraftKings can still provide, like, especially in a showdown and relative to salary expectations, if they have a floor game of like 8 points, like that's 2 field goals made, right? Like they make one from 45 yards and they make one from greater than 50. Then they miss an extra point then they miss another field goal late in the game, and you still have 8 DraftKings points relative to salary, and they probably meet salary-based expectation on that outcome. Man, if we get a missed extra point and a missed field goal after that, all of a sudden your kicker's scoring 3 points, even though he had 6 real life points in the game, right? The scoring for the kicker stuff makes them highly undesirable, in my opinion. I would not be mixing them in as readily. That's my number one takeaway right now.
Yeah, I'm not very apt. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, kickers in the optimal now. There you go. I mean, range of outcomes it is. Range of outcomes it is, right? But
no doubt. No doubt. It's just like if these are field goal opportunities being scored by the kickers, then that's you would have to think in your mind, unless it's a full-blown shootout, that these are touchdowns being taken away from players on that same team. So really got to think about how you want to pair those kickers and what those builds look like when you do take one or two. Because I don't know that people are giving it that much thought when they take them. I don't think I personally am. Like, I'm weighing, like, if I have like two Chiefs and an Eagle, and then I'm left with like Butker, like, I don't really want to do that because I have 2 Chiefs that I'm hoping are scoring touchdowns, and I want Butker to be involved at all.
Right. Yeah.
So it's weird. I'm not sure how much thought maybe I'm not giving the field enough credit, but yeah. Hey, it's not like it's impossible. Obviously, it's just like, man, if things go awry, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you just get faced with these same decisions over and over again, and it's like, it's Kelce for me. But like,
yeah, we could do something different with it.
Okay, let's take AJ Brown and see what happens.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you meant take Kelce and do something different with Kelce. Yeah, sure.
Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, and then we just end up with the exact fucking same build, because now we just take Devontae because there's another tier break. And then he just goes Kelce Sanders, which would have just been available to him from the 3-hole too.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're going to have to start thinking very Galbrain and flipping the builds in these contests to win this thing. I mean, you're going to need Kelce 101 exposure. You're going to need, like, just hoping and praying that people fall into a crazy room and someone takes Isaiah Pacheco 101 and then it all comes together. It's a fool's errand. I think you're going to have to put in tons of volume and just keep messing around with your exposures and tracking your teams and builds and from which draft slot you drafted which combinations, and then find ways to get different. Like that. Right. That's I really want to roll the 101 here. Maybe we'll do one more of these before.
Yeah, they go so fast. There's a lot of ways to think about this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not in love with Gainwell and the way in which Gainwell is represented by the field. And I think in a double Philly build, I don't love Gainwell either, because we're basically painting a Philly blows the door off narrative. For me, it will be like Juju and Sky here, or Juju and Justin Watson, or yeah. I think Juju's greatly undervalued right now.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways to play this if you're max entering. I think if you're spreading out your exposures and you're never duping yourself, I think you are probably like that $750 to max. I think you're probably looking at like a worst case scenario, like maybe like a minus $200 in your return there, just based on having so many different combos. We can make this pick before I kind of go into this thought a little bit.
So let's get out here and pay the rake. Who do you like here? I mean, Butker makes sense in this build.
I think Butker makes sense. I know we
shit talk kickers like crazy. So I'm
or Watson or your boy Watson.
Right. Let's do it. There we go. Let's live a little.
Like they seem to like Watson, but where I'm going with this is like, and we see this sometimes with like good players.
Mm-hmm.
Where instead of trying not to dupe themselves, they're like, I want duplicates of what I feel are really good combinations. And what
Yeah.
that does is like, if that combination does hit, then you're like multiplying like that split, like so to speak, like at the top. So I think if we have people watching this and they're max entering, I would definitely give some thought to duping yourself with some of these
Mhm.
combinations, because you're gonna probably be splitting that first prize like no matter what. So maybe your first like 75, 80, maybe to 100. Like, don't go duped, like try to keep those unique. And then if you're gonna do your next 50, and I do recommend doing this because like if you have the time to grind these out and do it this way, like I said, like you really don't have you're not risking a true 750. Like you're gonna get a lot of that money back.
Good point.
And just think about how you want to do this.
Yeah.
Because if you do like some of these combos that you're getting duped with, like just double, triple, quadruple down on those combos. Who cares?
Mhm.
This is gonna be such an insane leaderboard once the game is all said and done. Find your edge. Find your edge.
Yeah. It's
There's
gonna be
ways.
a fraction of a point on a Jalen Hurts kneel down that flips the board from 100 way dupe. It's gonna be like 100 way dupe, and then it's gonna be like one kneel down, and it's gonna be like a 2,000 person dupe for like a chop of 50K, and everyone still breaks even. Like
Yeah.
it's just like,
hmm
yeah.
And people, someone was asking a question, and we talked about it before about like, what do you think about these Mahomes Kelsey combos or these Hurts Mahomes combos? And I think they're well aware that they need to be on top of that. So it's just a matter
Mhm.
of, if you see it in a
See
lobby,
this is
like you can snitch on your lobby mates if you see it. Just tell them, and they
do you
might
want
do
to
something
do
about it.
Do you want to do this, or do you want to flip the build and take Pacheco from the other side?
I think I like Sanders.
Okay.
I'm really us talking about Sanders got me kind of excited about this being a close game and
Hmm.
and his likely like full involvement.
Yeah. I think in a trailing script, in 2 minute drills, in third downs, in some red zone packages that are like 15 yards out from the goal line, I do think Gainwell is their preferred option. And don't get me wrong, Gainwell looks nice. Gainwell looks nice when he's running the football. Like
Yeah.
he does look like he does look like he's a good player.
hmm
Um, Yeah. Chip asking if we prefer 3-1 or 2-2 builds, or I guess 1-3s if you went the other way. I think in a vacuum, I don't build my exposures that way on DraftKings and stuff like that. I do build my exposures that way for like a showdown. And if I was max entering like the millie, I would be really thinking through, my 5-1s and my 4-2s, and if the favorite this way or that way. In these contests, if you tell yourself a smart story, that's all that I care about. I don't care which way those break.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because it's like it's either 3-1 or 2-2. Like that is it. Those are the
Right.
only two options. So
Hmm.
I don't want to be like the cop out answer, but I really feel like it doesn't matter.
I think we keep eating a little bit of this juju, and maybe we mix in like something like Tony here, where it's just kind of like, hey, these are their two top wide receivers if they're both healthy and if they both play, and we're eating the discount because of the Q tags.
Yeah, man. I think I talked about like what does a full participation Juju do for his draft stock, and probably not a lot. A full
Hmm.
practice Tony definitely goes above Mecole, definitely goes above the kickers, goes
Hmm.
above Juju.
Yeah,
We haven't really talked about it that much,
good point.
and I think there's definitely a chance for full participating practice Kadarius Tony to make
Hmm.
some big leaps, like probably over Gainwell.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. We're not even gonna see how that one finishes. We're just jumping in here. Get in here,
Yeah.
fill this one quickly. Let's do rapid fires right here. Um, yeah, this is a good point too. Hurts is the goal line RB. It's
Yeah.
true.
I
That
mean, we've
that
seen we've
that
seen the scrums. The scrums that they
yeah.
do are they're awesome in my opinion, but I think they're going to get banned next year. But
Oh, just the formation you think will get banned?
yeah, they're definitely not going to let teams push with more than like two guys
Mm,
behind a ball carrier next year. It's been a lot. At least Twitter is like pissing their pants over it. They can't believe
Really?
that it's allowed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
disagree. I think it's fucking sweet.
I think it's pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like if you can't stop a 1 yard run where you guys both have your hand in the dirt like that. I mean, like I'm a proponent of 4th and inches or 4th and 1, and it's like it's sneak like 100% of the time with
Mhm.
almost 100% of quarterbacks. Like I think it's just like so plus EV to sneak. But I don't see anything wrong with that. Like for me, that just looks like a little Army Navy football. That looks like a little
Yeah.
full house package. That's like some good old boy, hand in the dirt, cloud of dust. Let's go 3 yards.
I wonder if Chip's saying 92% of the time. Is that a troll? Like, because I honestly don't know because of how successful it is. Like,
It's something
I know
like
it's
that.
I know it's actually nuts, but how nuts are we talking here? All right, here we go. We
Yeah.
finally get a top 2 pick.
Raise it. Yeah. Probably leave the game in the first quarter. If you
Raise
could.
It's
I mean,
alter ego won in hoops last night. Sorry, just
oh,
quick.
nice.
It wasn't Raise It 77. It was
was
a Raise It no numbers. So it's kind of strange.
Wow.
All right,
Uh-huh.
it's got to be Mahomes.
Jalen
right?
Hurts goes. Patrick Mahomes, easy pick. I think easy click. Do you want to flip the build here? We can flip the build. Let's take Kelsey above Mahomes and flip the build a little bit.
All right. Let's
just do
this
it.
will be a good curtain call for the NFL by skipping over Mahomes.
Yeah, we got to get a little fucking weird here. I think I want to do this one on Strino. I can't believe we didn't roll 1-0-1, knowing how pure that I run.
They're saving it for the hoops guy.
Yeah, they're saving it. They know I need it today in hoops. Anyways, I was gonna say I really want to take Kelsey 101, and then just see what that looks like as a drawn out scenario. Like because in theory, okay, if we theoretically think the first 8 picks are the exact same every single time, like they're basically the exact same over and over again. The first 8 picks, just in different combinations, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we just move one of those to the front and then line the other picks up behind, like you negate 40, like I don't know, maybe like 40% of total ownership. You negate, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many people are getting Goddard plus Kelsey because Kelsey, you have to make a concerted effort to, from the 3 hole, take Goddard over Sanders or Devontae Smith, and nobody's doing that. But because we took Kelsey at the 101, we just forced ourselves to do a Goddard build with Kelsey
at the 102. But yeah, no,
or 102. Sorry.
Yeah, this is definitely the most unique draft board that I've seen thus far.
Right.
And I don't know if Chad's doing draft board stuff this week with this contest, but just because it seems like we've talked about, like a little redundant, but
but okay, so now we have our pick of MVS or McKinnon. Do you have a lean?
Maybe I'm no. I guess I was gonna say MVS because we didn't take MVS yet, dude. I don't.
Okay, sure.
That's.
I mean, the bull case for MVS is very apparent. It's these Q tags are 2 of them turned to D tags, and all of a sudden his role is like solidified, right? Like his role is solidified as 80% of snaps plus some deep routes. Plus we saw what he ran, some of the underneath stuff last week, and he was actually utilized as like a real wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's to my point. We let Mahomes fall to pick 4, and it didn't matter. Right? Because nobody in these rooms is dumb enough to let, Mahomes plus whatever else get taken.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Jesus Christ.
Because you still stay in your lanes, like relatively speaking. The CEH pick is interesting because there's obviously a path to him being inactive. There's a path to him, getting 8 or 9 snaps. There's a path to him. I don't know. Like the CEH pick for me is kind of like, why will they like, no, like if I'm Andy Reid, like I'm not saying why draft him because like I've been mixing him in a little bit too, because he'll be so low owned. He gives you like crazy outlying expectation from like the 4th round, maybe more so than any other player offers. But like from the Chiefs football standpoint, why? Right? Because they've done so well with these other 2 running backs. Why would they mix him in, right?
I agree. I
Yeah.
think Rojo makes more sense than CEH does. Like it,
Mm,
because Rojo's only getting run if one of those other guys gets hurt.
that's
And
right.
I
Yeah.
and I mean I've been a Rojo truther for years, and I think he just makes more sense if like Pacheco goes down. I think he's more of a viable fill-in than CEH would be for that type of runner.
And just for what it's worth, Rojo played 2 snaps last week. I don't know.
Hey.
Like it just like, hey, two snaps. Here we go.
If you told me preseason when we're drafting best ball that hey, Rojo is getting snaps in the conference championship this year,
Right.
where you taking him? Like 10th
Right.
round 10th round Rojo all day.
It's so true. That's
Uh,
so true. Um,
all right, this is a good slate, I will say, for hoops.
yeah, let's jump into Hoop Street. It's here. We've had some nice hoop slates recently. NHL is All-Star break this weekend. So I think the last games were last night's contest there. Yeah, interesting, fun hoop slates. We have the LeBron Q tag at the top of the board. I have the LeBron narrative of he plays tonight like almost undoubtedly because he is chasing down. He's 89 points away from being the NBA's all-time scorer. And for him, hey, what did we say? Saving those 101s,
Oh my
baby.
god.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think if LeBron has to play tonight to give himself an opportunity to break Kareem's record at home.
At home, right.
Yeah.
And it's against the Pacers. Like he can really set himself up nicely to break that record at home.
Yeah, big pace up spot against the Pacers. In that same vein, I think they're expecting Hallie back tonight. Whether he gets a full allotment of minutes, it will be another thing. But I keep jumping in on 4th round Hallie right now.
Yeah.
The other big Q tag is Steph. Is he still, his ADP has been plummeting. Let me make sure he still has a Q and we didn't miss any news. Yeah, he's got a Q tag right now and it says Warriors main starters likely to rest Thursday. And he's just dropping like a rock. I took a couple 5th round Stephs just because 5th round Steph is what if he plays kind of thing.
Yeah.
But back-to-back for the Warriors, back-to-back for Memphis tonight, back-to-back for I think I missed somebody else. I'm floundering without Numi sheet.
I know, man. The Numi sheet is just
the Numi sheet is so clutch. The prep sheet is so clutch.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Yeah, just Memphis and Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There you go, Brett Boy, GM, baby. Yeah, good win last night, buddy. Congrats. There you go. A couple 6th round, like Steph should never go undrafted is more or less my point right there, where it's like, just take him in the 5th or 6th and just get that swap.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, Lakers look like far and away the highest scoring game on the slate with Lakers Pacers at 240. Yeah, give me all the late round Hallie there. That seems, I don't know, man. I probably some sort of a minutes restriction you would think, but that feels fantastic in the 4th.
It does feel very nice. Yeah, I'm not really sure who to go with in this range here. I think there's one obvious pick if it comes.
Yeah.
The Vooch, like we talk up centers versus Charlotte all the time. Chicago to me is like it's feeling so much like there's like a couple teams now where it's just like any given night with any of these 3, they can get home. The Raptors are one of those teams. I do like Vooch's spot tonight, and I do like Paul George tonight too. I'm just gonna
I think
go ahead and take the.
Those are good picks.
I think those are a tier above right there. You could twist my arm into Bam being a nice matchup without Mitchell Robinson, and just being like forcing the Knicks to go big. And yeah, I don't know,
Very
but
low total, as all Heat games
yeah,
are.
yeah. Um, but one thing that I was harping on is like there's those like those teams where like they have three premium players, and then we have no idea like which way it's gonna break each night. Like we joke about the Fred Van Fleet, Siakam, Barnes. You throw Precious in there now. He's been balling out. Like,
Has he? Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. Like any given night, whoever like Darnell Nurse gives minutes to, like I have no idea between those. I have no idea on any given night if it's going to be Levine, DeRozan, or Vooch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Vooch tonight because of the matchup against Charlotte, because of centers against Charlotte. But I will be mixing in, multiple Bulls because of that spot.
Yeah, as you
general.
should. As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see DeRozan putting up a monster score as well. I mean, even Levine's tough to nail, but could definitely see that as well. The Bulls are just like a little shitty right now. It's just this could be a trap game. Like if the Hornets beat the Bulls, like someone's getting fired or someone's getting traded very soon.
We were so close. We were so close to Hallie right there.
So in that vein, who are you liking here?
I was gonna say that I think I like CJ McCollum, and then it's weird because the note is that like the starters are gonna sit with like the Warriors. So Jordan Poole has been starting, but like I think if they sit guys, they sit like Clay, Steph,
old guys.
Draymond, right? So I do think like Jordan.
I was a Terry Rozier guy here, but I do think Poole at Denver without the other guys taking his shots, like this is what he dreams about. He can't wait to get on the court without Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Like he just wants the Jordan Poole show. So that's the move. That's the move.
That was the thesis there, where I do think like Jordan Poole seems like one of those ADPs that could really vault. Like today, like just in general, right?
Yeah, I wonder what I only have Stochastic here. Let's see. Are they can I type? They don't have they have Steph as a 0. They have Poole, but he's not like popping or whatever, but he's but he's there. And I like our I like our inputs better.
Yeah, I think it's I think sometimes you just gotta take that spreadsheet stuff, push it to the side for a second, because they're hedging hard right now. They're like, what if Steph's in? What if they're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Like they're hedging in that regard. I'm thinking like, let's get one step beyond that and be like, here we go. Like this is the spot, right?
Exactly. You gotta understand what the projections, what they're doing, and they're trying not to be wrong. Is what it is.
Yeah. Poole is less fancy DeMar. Yeah, I don't like this slander. Poole shoots the 3. DeMar can't shoot the 3.
Poole is fancy as hell.
Yeah.
Poole
jack it up from half court when he sees fit.
Yeah, like Poole. What is that? Come on, Chip. You know ball better than that.
Yeah, you're right. I absolutely butchered that.
You did call him Nick.
Yeah.
Dude, Poole is every college athlete's favorite basketball player. I think that qualifies him as fancy. Popping on Fantasy Labs though, that's like 10. That's like 10 more points if that's FanDuel points than what Stochastic is giving him. Interesting.
Yeah.
Vooch is up there pretty high.
Poole's still recovering from getting knocked out by Dre.
He sees nightmares.
Poole has not been playing good basketball recently.
No, he has not.
No, he is not. But hey, get those other guys off the court. Let them remind him. Okay, Buddy Hield in a pace-up spot. Some Brook Lopez versus Zubac. No, I don't like that.
I could go for, I think Hield potentially.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of think
him or Dinwiddie. I think because the Pelican. We have Doncic. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't really like the correlation between Dinwiddie and Luka.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think that prepared us. That did enough to mentally prepare us to defend our Dunk 2 championship right here. There we go. Let's go. Come out of the woodworks, big spenders. This is the price of
Oh yeah,
poker's
one
going
more.
up around here. The price of poker's going up. Oh, there we go. That's a big one there. I had
Oh.
way, 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 way too much Desmond Bain last night. And I was out and about, and we got some friends from out of town and stuff like that hanging out, and I missed the Gobert swap because I swapped almost everything. So I ended up with either oh fuck. The Portland guy. No, I wanted Naz Reid because it was such an easy 1-for-1 swap. I ended up with the Portland guy.
Grant Nurk.
Nurk. Yeah. Nurk. Well, I can't believe I was blanking on Nurk's name.
So if JJJ is out, what are we?
Who's popping in the Nez model? Who's popping in the Nez model? Give me the deets, baby.
Are we thinking this is a Santi Aldama game? Is that what we're thinking? You laugh. Let's see what the audience thinks. I don't have chat up, so I don't know what the chat's thinking.
Is this an Xavier Tillman game?
Hell no. What about let's see here. Brandon Clark sort of fits that a little bit.
The gentlemen in the chat are throwing me a life preserver as I'm swimming in the deep end here, floundering away without Numi.
Oh, it's Brandon Clark. It's Brandon Clark night. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, 100%. Good blonde dreads guy.
Yes. Yeah.
I respect it.
With a hilarious free throw for him.
Okay. I did not know that part of his game. I think it's joke for me here. I think this kind of front end of the draft board is really, really nice.
Yeah. I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah, I worry kind of about the blowouts. If LeBron didn't have a Q tag, I think I could thrust LeBron up into this it's hard to take him over the giants of like Luka, Giannis, and Joker, but LeBron tonight just feels like he's just going to blow the doors out this game.
He actually has 2 more away games before he goes home, but that's 89 points. So I doubt he's going to put up 45 and 46, 45 and 45. So, and
if he drops 50 tonight,
I still don't next game in the Pelicans, it's at New Orleans. He's like, nah, I'm taking that game off almost certainly.
Well, just let him play 12 minutes and get 8 points, just so it's a sure thing the following night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't think he sits the next couple here and then he just gets it done, because if you're the Lakers organization and this is about to happen under your watch, you got former Laker and Kareem, they're going to have Kareem sitting courtside at that game. They're going to have, they're going to roll out the red carpet. They're going to do it right in LA, full fucking Hollywood
Might
style.
even give me an invite. You never know.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Influencers, baby. Yeah. Which mixed race couples can we get to,
we gotta fit the quota.
Yeah, we need to hit the quota of white male arm candy.
I'm top of the list, baby. Oh shit.
Oh my goodness. Donovan Mitchell without JJJ on the court. That sounds like kind of a fun pick right here for us.
Yeah.
You don't have to twist my arm into the Vooch thing again. We could do the Vooch thing for sure. I mean, just centers versus Charlotte. You want to do it?
Yeah, I actually think so.
Okay.
Mitchell just pisses me off anytime I'm counting on him.
Yeah, and I do think he's still kind of hurt. He was legit hurt, and they legit thought he was going to miss 3 weeks. They were going to sit him till the All-Star break. They were talking about All-Star game replacements for him, and then all of a sudden he's just back. And then he plays he played super limited minutes the first night. I think he played 30 something 2 nights ago. Yeah, 37 in that kind of muck it up grind fest versus the Heat in low scoring game environment, blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't know.
Just a weird team,
On a hook
Cleveland.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
No back-to-backs for the Lakers either, so LeBron doesn't necessarily have to take.
I did call Nez arm candy. I knew
It
exactly
wouldn't
what I was
it
doing,
wouldn't be
Chad.
the first time.
Oh, Dark Sheep coming in with we're going back to
Really?
the yeah. So that that adds up for me right there. I mean, just keep clicking Juju's name right now. He's the most likely to play. Tony will vault a lot. Like, just keep mixing those two in, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Wow, Terry Rozier going at the corner there. Wow, maybe we shouldn't have passed on him in the fourth last draft. I guess we just shit all over Mitchell, and now we take him in the third. You could
Yeah,
have maybe Paul George too.
Mitchell, as far as projections go, is actually like behind Levine and
Ooh,
behind Jimmy Buckets and
sweet
behind.
Nez. Thanks for sharing that right after we picked him.
Hey, it's ADP. It's ADP, baby. You can't pass that up. Come on. Yeah, but he's
There
like
you
a
go.
cutoff.
So Dark Sheep reporting that they got the inverse narrative on those two as well.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh man.
Yeah.
Tony ADP could be like something that you cannot get later. If
LeBron hook shot homage
that
at
would be
home versus
great.
the Bucks. You know
That
what
would be
happens if
great.
LeBron takes a hook shot? Unless he's like 10 feet out, Giannis swats that shit into the fifth row.
That is exactly what happens.
Brook Lopez fouls the shit out of him before that ball even gets anywhere near the hoop.
Yeah. If Bobby Portis is playing, he's gonna take an elbow to the ribs before he gets a shot a shot like that up.
Hey, if anybody gets their hands on the script to the Super Bowl, yeah, send that one my way. Send that one my way before we get there. If anyone gets their hands on the script.
I can't believe how the script memes have just exploded. It's
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even. It's funny stuff. It's just I just need to get on like my hipster high horse and be like, I've been talking about scripts for months, years, talking about seeing the script, and now everyone's. It's great. It's great. Welcome aboard to a good joke format, everybody. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, the script's good.
Jeez, man. Jamal
Carlos
looks nice.
Really sweating this pick.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. Great stuff. Great work, Carlos.
You heard me say Jamal.
Him.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Jamal does look nice. Yeah, he played against the Warriors.
Jamal, so nice today.
Yeah, you don't want none of that Halliburton.
Yeah. You don't want that Halliburton smoke, Carlos.
He was too. Don't let him fool you. Miles Turner, that's interesting.
This is an interesting one from Chad here. With JJJ out and Adams out, John Morant takes a hit in fantasy points per minute. That's interesting. And they played last night, and he played really big minutes last night. And I told everybody all day yesterday, I told them that he was the 103 in my model. I came into the chat.
You did that.
I told everybody he's the 103 in my model.
Yeah, you're like it was perfectly laid out too. It's gonna be 1-on-1 versus Dame. I mean, Dame's balling,
and they both smashed.
Yeah. It was an awesome game. It was really sick.
I had some really, really nice lineups that just died with my 6th round pick over and over again. I thought I was gonna have a really nice night last night. Granted, I obviously watched zero basketball and and was out doing other stuff, so I didn't sweat it. Jordan Poole.
What if we go? Okay, I like Poole. I'm gonna throw out options for like a little Evan Mobley sans J cubed as well, but
yeah, it's kind of fun. But I like the Jordan Poole just has the ball in his hand for 38
Jordan
minutes
Poole,
tonight.
81 points tonight. Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Poole just breaking the slate from the 5th round because he's just Steph light. Yes. That's my narrative tonight. The narrative
many shots are going up.
Yeah, 36 minutes from Jordan Poole, and he's the guy you need. Actually, I didn't do this yet, but I was gonna cut together a little Hoops Guy clip from like some of the old ones where we were making the Hoops Guy bit jokes,
Yeah.
and then cut together some clips from Tuesday's show when I won that night of like the guys that I said. I was like, what if you need 4th round Brandon Ingram? And I was like, what if you need 5th round this? And it was like that exact lineup was what won me the dunk.
Okay,
and I
that's
said
sick.
them all on the show. It was pretty funny.
You gotta love
I just-
when some tout picks just absolutely smash.
Oh yeah. There we go.
T-Box is going in on Miles Turner.
Yeah, actually, good nugget there, Josh. Actually, some T-Box news. Should I share the T-Box news or should I keep it
I
under
don't
my vest?
know. I don't know,
Okay.
man. I
Let's
don't
keep it
know.
under my vest for a second here.
So Brandon Clark does not project well, but like, I think it's fun. I don't know. I think it's fun.
Think it's fun?
It's your
Who
25.
else
It's
is better
your
in-
25 though.
Who else is better than him? Jared Allen?
Like anybody on the screen as far as
Okay,
projections go.
Let's take Jared Allen because
Yeah, same play,
same play.
basically.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't know if Brandon
It's
Clark even
risky.
falls into those minutes.
That's a tough defense. But
yeah, the Twin Towers in the paint, like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, like that. I mean, they play tough and they play.
Mhm.
That team plays really good defensively and really slow. Those two are good defending teams. Like
yeah, they
Memphis. Memphis defends really well at the guard position too. Like that game could be a slug, And Memphis on a back-to-back, like Jaw's a little tired from last night from running up and down the court and balling out. Plus, Chad telling us
he's
that his fantasy points per minute take a hit. I mean, we're painting ourselves a narrative right there. Let's do one more hoops and then call her a day. Nez boy, what do you think?
Yeah, that's good with me. I do wonder though if T-Box was ever going to do a face reveal, man, wouldn't we be the show?
Yeah, I mean, one would think
that would just be amazing. But I don't know.
I don't know if that T-Box ever wants to break that anonymity. Did I say it? Yeah, that was right.
Anonymity.
He wants to remain anonymous.
But
yeah, but if someone were to come on the show in the future, potentially with the script laid out for them, with comfortable talking points, with maybe a blurred out face and a voice box, might it be T-Box?
I can only hope.
I can only hope. Yeah, I mean, never meet your heroes, kids. Like, never.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. Plus, Warriors get body bagged with all their guys out. That's an interesting bull case to thrust Giannis over Joke.
Yeah. I think if that's what you're leaning, then definitely on. And I wish.
Let's take LeBron because LeBron's getting 40 tonight.
Yeah.
LeBron, honestly, John's 2 locks of the night. Here you go. These are the locks of the night, definitive hammers. Let's build a pick 'em with them after to close.
Okay. Yeah.
LeBron over 33.5 real points. I'm talking LeBron gets 50 fantasy points. He gets 50, 58 over. Yeah, let's say he gets over 53.5 fantasy points. I'm locking that over. I'm taking LeBron for 58.5 fantasy points, alternate line, and I'm going over. LeBron.
That's the next step, is getting to alternate lines in these pick'ems.
Alternate pick'em fantasy points lines.
Just a little extra boost.
Oh,
nice.
Pick him.
Dude,
wow.
He told us he's been hot. Hot too.
I think Randall here is kind of like the tier break for me. I don't love that game environment. I don't love him versus Bam, but I do think I love him slightly more than Vooch, and we've taken Vooch 3 times in a row.
He's the best that's left if we're looking at the computers.
At the computers, yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
what the virgins are saying.
Yeah, yeah. If you look what the CPU's got to say, they like
Mm,
Randall left here.
yeah, I like that. I like trusting the old CPU. Chip taking DeRozan, aka the rich man's John Morant.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Do we watch the games? Do we know who DeRozan is? Do we know what he likes to do? God. I guess Morant's a little better
um,
than comparing Jordan Poole to
uh,
DeRozan. He's more like Ja.
freezer box. I like that. Okay, who do we like here? We could take Bam, a little run back there. We could take the Levine because you never know who it's going to be in that game environment.
I think
Um,
Levine,
yeah.
Levine is what the spreadsheets like.
All
Um,
right.
they like him over Bam.
Spreadsheets always love the spreadsheets always love Chicago. They always love everybody against the Hornets. They always love everybody against
2 for
Indiana,
2.
and they love everybody in Sacramento game environments. I've noticed like the spreadsheets are like the biggest fucking hedge of all time. Like
Yeah.
like understanding projection models and looking at them is like 101 baseline of like barrier to entry, but directly applying them is inherently flawed. That's what I'll
Mhm.
say. You
Yeah.
gotta bro science your way there. You gotta IKB some of the spreadsheet stuff. Like the Jordan Poole one right now. It's like the spreadsheet isn't going to tell you that he should be a fourth rounder. But as soon as Curry, Draymond, whatever, all get ruled out, Jordan Poole on Stochastic will be the 13th best player in raw ceiling projection as soon as those players are ruled out. But they can't
Yeah.
preemptively rule them out, so they're not doing that right now. It's just a hedge model. He's projected for 34 fantasy points. Then all of a sudden his ceiling will go to like 58. Like it's Hallie.
Hallie or Drew, because Drew kind of left the bad taste in people's mouths last game. But
Let's take Hallie. Let's
right,
take
fine.
Hallie because we got LeBron, and like they would just play that spot. You know, we'll play that game there.
Nick with like a really good take here. He's saying you got to listen to the virgins for the first
Yeah.
3, and then that's when Knuckles get dirty is around
Yes.
scoring 6 when you're really
Damn
doing.
right. I love that take, Nick. I love that so much. There you go.
Numi's in the chat now.
Oh, there you go. Yo, hope everything's good at the vet, Numi. Been there, buddy. That's the worst available sweat. Here,
Yep.
Brett Boy saying, there you go. Fantasy Labs has them ruled out, assume. So pool ceiling is 11th on the slate. There you go. Like my bro science said 13. Like give or take a couple points, boys. Come on.
There you go.
These games don't have to be hard. They don't have to be hard. Let's take Miles Turner here because we're doubling down on that game environment and because T-Box is taking him over ADP a lot. So we're just going to tail the shit out of that.
I think it makes sense for Miles Turner in a 240 spot, get some points, get some stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a really good night for 5th round Miles Turner.
What if we go narrative street?
I got a narrative, but you go first.
LeBron's taken over the game a little bit. They don't need as much AD. AD, kind of takes a little bit of a back seat tonight. Doesn't play a full allotment of minutes. They're still working him back a little bit. They're still on the road trip. I know he sat one game, but, they dial him back a little bit. Thomas Bryant's on the court. Rui's on the court. You don't think my boy Miles Turner is going to go put his ass in the middle of that guy's chest, back that shit down, 3 hard left-hand dribbles, boom, inside lane, get the knee around that outside, up with the right, boom, cram job all over Thomas Bryant? You kidding me? Miles Turner.
Done for.
He's done. You think Rui's going to be fast enough on the help side defense to get over? Hell no. Miles Turner, quick as a cat out there.
You had me nervous, dog. I thought you were about to go, is Thomas Bryant in his absence or Rui? I was about to favorite time of the show on everybody. My narrative was
tell me who you like here. I kind of like this.
I think this. Tyler Hero at the Mecca. I think that dude wants to put on a show.
He wants to fill it up.
That's my take. Tyler
right.
Hero it thrives under the bright lights in a
Tyler Hero,
terrible game environment.
I
But
love that so
you
much.
gotta understand.
Tyler Hero at the Garden, he's just gonna go back to 2021 Tyler Hero, where he was spot up shooter, icing everything. Book it over 4.5 3-pointers tonight for Tyler Hero.
Let's add him to the slip. I'm keeping track.
That.
All right, we've got. Do they have threes for him? No, they have points.
Oh my God. Nick's going to the Knicks game. Nick at the Knicks game. Tyler Hero. Nick is our hero.
Gonna find him in the crowd, and he's gonna point at him. He's gonna be like, "That's for you. That's for you." And Pam Lanny on Underdog.
Oh man, yeah. Give him the Nick in person game bump. Oh man.
All right, do you want to get a John slip and then run the credits?
All right, let's do a little pick 'em here. Actually, the one thing I will say about Rui is I was shocked that he started last night.
Yeah.
Was it last night or the night before? Last night?
No, that would have been
the night before.
Tuesday against the Knicks.
Tuesday against the Knicks. Yeah. No, that was the night where everybody was in, right? Yeah, because they played the back-to-back and they sat the front end of the back-to-back, and then everybody is in.
He played 40 minutes.
Yeah, so everybody was in. So AD started then. It was his first game back starting, and LeBron was starting after he sat the previous night, and Rui played 40 minutes at the 4 and played like the whole damn game. And then there was like a whole bunch of stats about Rui's like plus minus differential. Every single starter on Monday night had a positive plus minus than Rui, and Rui was like -13 or something like that. And they played like I don't even
call him -13 instead of minus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a classic hockey guy. Like, yo, that's a dash.
Instead of saying
buddy.
minus, you say dash.
Oh yeah, that's a dash. Like you're out there for a goal against, and the boys on the bench. That's a dash, bro. That's a dash, buddy. -1.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love it. I love the accent.
Yeah.
So you said,
yeah, there you go. Numi's doing the Lord's work there, where they've been staggering LeBron and AD the past couple there.
You said LeBron over 58 fantasy points, so
I know we got to take the higher on 51. That's insane low. That's so like, do these guys know that he's in a pace up spot, that AD is just coming back, that their minutes are currently staggered, and that this guy needs like 50 tonight to guarantee that he breaks the record at home in front of Kareem? LeBron.
Easy.
LeBron
easy
night.
Game.
Easy game. Who else did we like? We liked Vooch.
Yeah, and then Miles Turner too is an interesting one.
Okay. So we'll do Vooch, Turner, Jordan Poole we were hitting on. We'll do Jordan Poole in here. And yeah.
And then maybe Chat. If Chat can give us a fifth leg. Yeah.
Okay, fifth leg. All right.
So what do you think here?
I think I like Vooch on the fantasy points as well.
Yeah.
But like, cause that just seems low for me for a guy who's going to get, he's 100% going to get, I don't know if he's going to score more than 19 or he's going to have more than 14 rebounds, but I know when we mix in a couple stocks that I know he's going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's, just take the fantasy points.
Let's take the points there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do not bet unders around here because we're not cowards. Or sorry, lowers. We do not.
We don't go lower on anything. Pool, they're waiting for the official ruling. So
they're so shook right now. They are so shook by Jordan Poole's projection in the NES model right now that they don't even offer it on the site. Underdog is so they've taken our pick'ems off of the sheet. Like they've just taken them off because they're that scared of the influence we have over the market right now.
It was a minute before we decided to do a slip, and it's gone.
Yeah, and it's gone now, right?
Unbelievable.
All right.
So we could do Miles Turner stock.
Okay.
Take the higher on that stat.
On the stocks over, we're gonna take the higher on the blocks and the steals.
Yeah, we're trusting the T-box process here.
All right. Yeah. In T box, we trust pick right there.
Somebody wants a LaMelo Ball over on the boards, 6 flat.
6 boards for LaMelo.
He's beaten that 3 straight games, and it's Chicago.
Have you seen Vooch's calves before?
No, I have not. Does he have like
the guy lives on
I don't want to
Stairmaster.
get insensitive, but you ever see like somebody like, you used to be big because they got massive calves?
Yeah.
Is he like that? Is he like former chunkster with like the big calves?
Yeah, he's got the cankles going on. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can get like his calves with a V, or is it like FS?
VES. I don't know how you spell them up in Canada.
Well, I did the first one with the V, like a cow, like calves plural. Okay, look at these things.
Oh yeah, look at how high they sit on his tib fib. Oh geez,
look at those things.
Monster.
Like, I don't know. This is a little bro science take here. I don't know how Glass Ankles Ball in his BBB brand shoes is getting elevated high enough to get a board.
He's a Puma athlete now. He's a Puma guy. It's different.
Oh, he's Puma?
Yeah, he's Puma.
Oh, he's got a little more spring now. He's got some more spring now.
But the spreadsheets are telling us that Chicago's 23rd in rebounding. We got the Numi stamp of approval here. Capzilla.
Capzilla, I love it.
And it came from Carlos. Carlos is good people.
So Carlos gets it. Yeah, I mean, Carlos is good people. He let us have Hallie. Yeah, that was a great person there. Okay, we're adding LaMelo with the over here, but it's much to my chagrin. But the spreadsheet virgins in the chat are allowing it, so let's let it ride. But let's say I'll give this one a 65% stamp of approval here.
Okay.
And well, here we go. Melo fantasy points higher. So he wants the fantasy points one. Let's see what the Melo. Okay, hold on. We're coming to a crashing halt here. Fantasy 46. Points 46. I don't know. This seems kind of high. Roll Glass Ankles. Okay, do we like the boards or the fantasy points?
I think fantasy points, man.
Okay,
Bills,
we're gonna
the Bulls are a disgrace.
All right, let's do it. Okay, and then one more pick 'em here. If we were cowards, we would parlay the LeBron with a lower on AD. You know, like we would do something like that, or like a lower on Russ or something. But we're not.
No, I can't have a lower on a slip.
No, I can't. What about a Hallie raw scoring just over or higher 17.5? Don't think he gets the minutes?
It feels like a pick breaking an entry breaking pick. I don't know. And we put a lot on
Where can we get the Tyler Hero? Where can we get the Tyler Hero 3-pointers? That's what we want.
It'll probably be up later. I bet it comes up later in the day. Let's see here.
Squeaking toys. He's raring to go. Last one in here.
Chad said something about Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, what are we going with Murray there?
Points and assists, he's saying, with the higher.
Okay. Higher on Jamal Murray.
I like that. I like that.
Points and assists at 18.5 on Jamal Murray. That's absolute theft right there.
Yeah.
That is theft.
No. Let's go.
Confidence interval here, Nez. 1,000?
For a throw up. Could you imagine taking them to the bank for 20K? Fuck.
Confidence interval on this. Are we on
my units are a quarter.
A quarter. 25 bean for 500 USD. All hires because we ain't cowards. Sharing the slip. Confirmed. Boom.
Entries in.
Share your picks.
Share the link. I got a tail.
How do I
scroll down a little bit? There should be a little share, big yellow share button for you.
the old talk about your all-time giveaways. The big share button. All right. In the chat. Can people click that?
They can. Yeah, we're the
can.
only ones that can post links.
All right, perfect. There it is, people. The definitive. I will say Vooch is an absolute stone cold lock. LeBron is a stone cold lock. Tyler Hero higher on 3-pointers if you can get it. Stone cold lock of the century. Miles Turner, the T-box factor, you got to go with it. Jamal Murray and LaMelo Ball are on you guys. That's what I'll say.
Yep.
That's the take.
Yep.
Right.
No, that's fair. It's on you guys. So
it's on you guys. I love it. That was a great show, my friend. A little bit of the big game chat there, a little bit of hoops. Hit the wrap it up box here. Anything you want to share with the peoples?
Got nothing. I think we'll be back tomorrow with a little with some Numi, hopefully.
Yeah.
Nita's presence back, and yeah, let's run it back. And after these pick'ems hit, we'll have a lot of funs to play with.
Damn right we will. All right. All the best to Numi's cat. Hopefully everything's good there, and he is back tomorrow. Talked to Mark yesterday. Hopefully going to get him on for a big game preview. A couple irons in the fire with some other individuals. Hopefully we can reach out maybe to Pete or something like that. Maybe get a little big game chat going on together next week. Next week will be pretty football centric, I imagine. I'm not sure how long we can talk about one game all at once, but we'll try. Right. We're gonna try.
Yeah, we're doing our best. We're doing our best to spread out the conversation. So hopefully we get some extra news and get to talk some more game theory.
Absolutely. All right. If you haven't already, there's still 40 of us hanging out. Please do hit that like and subscribe button. Follow the Badge Bros Unhinged channel. Numi has already done a couple Numi at Nights on there. A couple more to come, I am sure. This dog is chewing my arm off. He got an absolute terrible haircut yesterday. Nobody can. Bad. It's not so bad. He is pathetic looking right now. I might disown this. Oh my goodness. All right. This show's got off the rails. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We will be in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. Good luck in the hoops streets tonight. Keep mixing up those draft boards and having some fun in the big game contest. Don't be afraid to ape in. We think there is a good path to profitability, even if it is not a big first place win. Lots and lots more baseball content coming up in upcoming weeks. Do not worry about that as soon as we get past this football hump kind of thing. On my dog, stop. Holy smokes. Okay, this is going crazy. Okay, he's chasing his tail now in circles. This guy's an idiot. Okay, on behalf of myself and Numi and Nez, everybody's favorite time on the show, the end. Peace.